Yo, what's up? This is TEKNOBLAST. I'm taking those gaming with SIKSLAYER, and the real is here tonight after a 2-week sabbatical. Not a sabbatical, but I was off last week because I went skiing, man. I went to Colorado and went to shred the slopes, dude. And that was fun. And I hit a tree.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I smacked right into a tree, man. I was trying to be all ballsy and badass, and I went boom. I had my arm extended too. I had my arm extended too wide and caught it and spun me around and bam, slam. And I caught it on camera too.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Who hits trees on the bunny trail?
What was that?
I said, who's hit the trees on the bunny trail?
I'm sorry, man. I know.
Wow. I did not expect you to just come in hot with that. Like
I know, man. I can't even say what I experienced here. And then this guy comes in.
Yeah, he said I hit a tree. I know you're on the bunny trail.
I ain't no bunny trail. I'm on the green, man. Let's see if I can find it, man. Let's see. Dang it.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. Let me see. I'll play it. Let's see if you guys can see it. See? That's me right there. Look at that.
Oh, that's the GoPro you're talking about.
So there you look at that.
GoPro, baby. You big fan.
Now I'm going in the trees. I got this. No problem. Oh yeah, sure.
Oh! Look where it stops. It stops right before you hit anything. Okay, rewind that because it just stops just before, and all of a sudden later on you see yourself on the floor.
Let's see. How do we win these shorts?
No, just let it play.
I'll let it play. Yeah.
So it was like you were supposed to get off on the next exit, and you hit the divider.
Yeah, and I don't know why I put my arm out too long. Bam!
Okay, this time you fell. Okay, this time I see you fall. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what happened out there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You made it sound worse than it really was.
Nah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all.
It just fell real quick.
But
Man,
that was fun.
I knew it wasn't that bad. He was laughing. I knew it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Dude, I would have felt like 6 times like that and not even remembered. Like, that would have just happened.
I think I fell down
due process of getting warmed up.
2 times, maybe 3 at the most. So I didn't do too bad.
So what you trying to say? You're a veteran?
I'm a veteran. I've gone 3 or 4 times already skiing, and I think I'm a veteran now. I'm pretty good. So watch out for my skills. Bro. I'll melt the snow behind me as I go down.
As you go down, slide on your ski suit?
Yes. My son took classes one day, and then the following day he's like, let's go higher. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right, let's go higher then. So he went a little bit further up on the mountain because he got a little ballsy there. And then he goes, you want to race?
Whoa! He's challenging the throne.
He is. He's the ground first. Yeah, he's challenging me. I was like, hey man, this is what I want, be a little competitive. And like Punty's saying, yo, you wouldn't have fallen if you got a snowboard. So as I was posting pictures while I was over there,
like me.
He mentioned this. It's like, hey, why don't you get on the snowboard? And what I told him is that I don't think I can stand having my feet locked down, both of them. On that one board, at least on the skis, I'm free to move around, Yeah. But on a snowboard, you're locked in place on that board, and you can't go anywhere.
2 legs, you gotta twist your leg. You gotta
I know,
one leg for the other, or you gotta use the back foot. I'm goofy, which means my dominant leg, which is supposed to be behind you. I like to have that up front, which is my right leg. Do it that way. So, and you gotta use that left leg, in the back to control going left and right. It's like reverse. You press left, you go right, and vice versa. So, snowboarding is a lot easier than skiing, though. No lie.
Yeah, but I've watched the snowboarders trying to get on lift, and they have a harder time because the way they have to place their board.
Yeah.
And they end up falling a lot more than skiers do.
Yeah.
So take that, snowboarders. Yeah.
Whatever, man.
Just
the holy war, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's always a fight. If it's not a fight between Xbox people and PlayStation people, there's gonna be a fight between skiers and snowboarders.
And they're gonna have this whole thing, and then they'll race for it, and to save the Civic Center or some shit.
Oh yeah. There's always gonna be a fight about something, you know. If it's Apple and Android, it's gonna be skis and snowboarders. It's gonna be I don't know. What else is there? Cars, phone, you know, just whatever's out there. There's always a fight. So I haven't talked to you guys in 2 weeks. What have you guys been up to?
Oh man, really? You want to go first?
You can go.
All right. Man, actually, I ain't been doing much, man. Just been working. Still playing Vampire Survivors. Still trying to figure stuff out. Still.
Wait, but you finished it though, right?
I beat the boss. We discussed this last time. I beat
Yeah.
the boss. Yeah. If you beat Ender, that's considered beating the boss. In my opinion, and just in logic, that's like the final boss. You know, there's bonus content and stuff to do, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm on. But I've been playing too much. I'm not into Wolong. Redfall looking cool, but I'm probably not gonna play that. I'm probably still not gonna play that. I'm waiting on Starfield. So for now, I'm looking at a little bit of iffy play. So I'm hitting the backlog.
Oh, man, don't be saying that out loud about Redfall, man. People are gonna fight you on that one.
I'm not saying it doesn't look. It looks awesome. I'm more interested in it than I was before when I thought it was just some Left 4 Dead clone, which never made any sense, to be honest.
Yeah.
But anyway, like it looks much more interesting. I might try it on the cloud, which is cool. I don't have to download thing. Just play on the cloud. I'll do that. But other than that, yeah, man, that's not too much actually.
Yeah. So yeah, as far as the gaming, man, it's been kind of hard to game lately. But I went back into the well. I've been back into Hogwarts. What else? There's a lot of games that I normally. Was it Tomb Raider? Just games that I got part way through and didn't finish. But yeah, I don't want to say. Let's talk about all the happy stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the happy stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we'll get
I would have to look, man, because man, I always play my baseball game. My super mega baseball cartoon game. I'm always playing that. But let me look at my little profile thing, because I've been buying a lot of games because I get them for so cheap, right? It's like, man, let me try some of these games. Oh, Ease.
And if it wasn't for Game Pass, you wouldn't be able to buy those games, right?
Right. Yeah, because I save so much money through Game Pass, and I'm able to reallocate those funds into other games. But yeah, Ease is a game that I've been playing. You ever play that? You ever heard of that?
Eve?
Ease, YS.
No.
It's an old JRPG. It's like it's been around for a while, but like since like the Famicom. But I've been playing Eats. Persona 5, I got back into that one. But man, that puts me to sleep.
What, Persona?
Like, yeah, because it's like it's real slow and there's a lot of reading to it. But I love the story. I can't knock that. But Ease is what I've been playing the most of, because like it's like playing old school Zelda.
Yeah.
It's like old school top down, walking around, but it's more. It's let me see, the new one that came out on the Switch, whichever one that one is, it's about the equivalent to that. But it's fun. It's difficult at points, but I'm enjoying it.
Good deal. Are you driving today?
Yep.
I think I heard you earlier on that space session that you were in with Beast.
No, I was. Yeah, you heard me, but I wasn't doing anything there.
Yeah.
No,
I'm just glad they got off of the bull crap, man. Like what? Like ponies are never gonna, give Xbox props. They're never gonna.
And I've mentioned that a long time ago, and many times it's like people, like Xbox fans especially, need to give up on expecting any kind of credit from Sony fans. You're just not going to get it. It's never going to happen. No matter how good Xbox does and what services they bring, what games they bring on, what they do in the industry, it's never enough, and they'll never give credit. And so I've been telling people, just stop expecting that, because it's not going to happen.
Because it doesn't even matter anyway, even if we did have it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, what's going to happen? They're going to say, good job, Xbox. My gaming experience didn't increase. I didn't level up all of a sudden just because they gave me props. You know what I mean?
Well, the one thing I could say is I don't like the constant outright lying. I mean, the blanket
Oh yeah, yeah.
Lies when stuff was made clear and established, like in the past, things no one would debate. Now they have to debate what a person means, even though they specifically said something clearly, so there could be no debate.
Oh yeah, yeah. Trying to
saying?
read between the
I'm talking about
lines where
those
there's
things.
no
Right.
reading between the lines is what gets me
Right.
sometimes.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's clear. Don't lie about obvious things, bro. You could debate some other things where it's not so, subjective. Or okay, fine. Or it is more subjective, But come on, man.
They don't care about the truth because like with this whole thing with Phil Spencer saying games everywhere, exclusive or counterintuitive. They don't even talk about the question that was asked. The question was about cross-gen games. And you know how Xbox is saying no gamer left behind? There's cloud. So no gamer was left behind. I don't understand. They keep trying to, but like I said, when it comes to this the acquisition of Bethesda, it's like PlayStation fans were hoping that all their top fanboys were telling the truth when, oh, there's a chance that it comes to PlayStation. They were hoping, and us as Xbox fans, we're hoping that Xbox would just shut the door, right? But we always knew that Xbox couldn't answer these questions directly. I always knew that they can just rip the Band-Aid off because they're trying to be the good guy, but they're also trying to grow their gaming business as well.
Yep.
But it's just that simple,
Yeah, we'll get into all that deeply in a bit. So guess what my son wants to play?
Fortnite.
He already plays that. So he's been watching the Last of Us show with his mom. Okay, I haven't watched it yet, so that's why I say with her, right? And so he goes, "There's a game, right? It's about a game." It's like, yeah, it's based off a game. He's like, "Do you have it?" I'm like, "No." It's like, "Can you get it?" And I was like, "I can." And I went to go see what the price is for it right now on the
$70.
It's still full price. It's still full price. I'm not paying full price for that.
You mean the remaster?
Whatever the third remaster there is, the part 1 for the PlayStation. Yeah.
Didn't you get
wow.
But then you get the remaster free?
No.
Don't you have Plus?
No.
Oh,
I don't have any services with PlayStation. It's just the console and that's it.
Well, yeah, that's how I played it. Like I got it free. When you first get your PlayStation, they had the little deal, like God of War, Last of Us, Deacon. What's the zombie game? Days Gone.
Mine came with Horizon, remember? And I gave it to you.
No, but you didn't give it to me, but yeah. But like when the PlayStation 5 first came out, they had they got rid of it, or they're about to get rid of it, where they gave you all those games that I just named and a few others.
Yeah.
That was included just for being a Plus customer. And Last of Us Remastered was in there.
Oh no! Then the first PlayStation I got, I sold it right away. You remember? And then the second one I didn't get like a few months ago, so 2 years later. So, but I'll wait for a price drop.
But that they had like a spike in sales when they got the when the show first came out. No, when the show first came out, they had a spike in sales of The Last of Us. But man, that the movie the show is the exact same as the video game. I saw some comparisons out there. That they do some compare. I mean, the wording may be a slightly different, but the acting part between the game and the show is like spot on.
It reminds me of the movie 300. It's the comic 99% word for word.
Really?
Yes.
Nice. I didn't even know
they go in depth on the people that they were running from in the game. They go in depth on that, and then they go in depth on the gay lovers.
No, did they really?
Yeah, they got a whole episode because you played the game, like when they first break away from the NRA or whatever they're called, and they you cross over the ladders and all that, and go to this guy's house. Bill, I think is his name, but they give Bill.
But does it feel forced, or is it just something that kind of develops?
Well, you want me to be honest?
Yeah,
it's a great gay love story.
Okay.
I mean,
it doesn't bother me. It's just I don't like it when they try to shovel it down your throat.
Well, I mean, depending on how you feel, they're shoveling it down there by them being involved. but but like it's a good episode. You know, my wife didn't want to watch it, but it's a good episode.
Yeah. And so, well, that's cool. But yeah, he wants to play that, and I wouldn't mind buying it again. But I'm going to wait for a price drop. I'm not going to pay 60 bones for it.
It was just on sale.
Was it?
It was $50.
Yeah, that's still too much.
Yeah, in partnership with the release of the show, yeah, I would imagine so.
Can you buy the remaster? The remaster shouldn't be full price.
It's still
the
full
same
price.
game. No, the remaster, not the
You mean
remake.
the PlayStation 4 version?
Whatever it was.
I don't know. There's so many versions. I don't even know anymore.
I think PS3 is the OG, and then they remastered for PS4, and then they remade it for PS5.
And we got a question from Google Poll. He says, "You gonna play Diablo 4 beta? Huh? You better if you think you know gaming." What a jerk.
Yep. Hey, we got you. I know you're playing it, right?
The beta? No, I don't play betas. I just wait for the full release.
Bro, it's like 3 months.
Yeah, I'll get the release one. I won't play beta. It's just kind of ruins it for me.
I'll
get on.
But I didn't play it myself. It looks really good. I like what I saw.
It's over. Is it? Well, no, it's going on right now, right? The beta?
The weekend.
Oh, the weekend. I thought it was going on right now. So that's what he wants to play because he saw the show. And I'm like, okay. He said, there's a part 2, right, Daddy? There's a part 2. I was like, yeah, but that one sucks. You don't want to play that one. The first one's the good one.
Nice dodge. Nice dodge.
Yeah, I don't need him to watch that one scene.
Yeah. He's not ready for that.
But here's what we are playing together. We're not together, but we're playing at the same time because it came out yesterday. And it's actually a lot of fun. And I don't like these type of games because it's on my phone or on my tablet. Okay. But Mighty Doom is actually pretty fun if you haven't played it. So since you're on the road all the time, Realist, this is something you might want to download on your phone. No? Like a quiet.
Well, if he had it on the Steam Deck, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I saw the game and I was like, oh, snap, okay, this is not what I thought, but okay, this is little cute.
Dude, I'm addicted. Anytime I have a break between work, I'm like, okay, let me try to get one.
You're on your phone.
It's
a phone game, right?
It's a phone game, yes.
On the shitter.
What game is this?
Mighty Doom.
You didn't see the trailer for this?
I'm pretty sure they had it like at a show or something like that. But if Tech says he likes it, I'll give it a try because I was like, I don't know, man. It's kind of like Gears Pop.
Well, there's really not. Yeah, it was kind of like Gears Pop, but without the pop part, you know?
Yeah, it's the minis thing. I think that's a different.
It's a shooter where it automatically shoots.
So not
you actually have one little like thumbstick to play, to navigate. Like there you go, right there. And you upgrade your guy. It's fun. I like it. It's fun.
Okay.
Is it free? How much is?
It's free. Yeah, it's free. Yep, it's free.
I give it a try. I mean, I play TEKNOBLAST on my phone and Spades. So, yeah, that's what I've been playing this week. I haven't really jumped on anything since I got back. I've been playing. I'm hooked. I'm back hooked on Battlefield 2042, dude. As much as people crap on it, I love it, dude. It's such a great game. That's all that matters.
Yeah, no, the crap talking has ended a while ago. I think the consensus is now that it's it's up to snuff now and has been for a while. I would say like late last year, maybe late summer.
Yeah, well, ever since I got on Game Pass or EA Play, I've been playing
even before then. But that was the line in the sand where like you're not allowed to complain about its suckitude anymore because it's not bad.
See, look at that. Even Post says it's a game. I mean, it's a fun game.
Yeah,
a little bit on my. See,
I wish it was on other platforms, like PC and consoles. I mean,
see, Ren, there he goes. Ren, the same thing. I heard it's good. They should put this on Xbox like Fallout Shelter. True, they should. And then we got Poe. They should put more mobile games on PC and console.
And so, the Activision.
There you go.
Remember, King.
Was it King?
Yeah. That's the real jewel in the crown right there for Microsoft. That's more in line with the stuff they want, because remember, this was never their idea to do this merger.
Yeah.
See, my thing with King is like they have the soda pop, candy pop, whatever the game is, and
Candy
it's
Crush.
all basically the same thing. Yeah, but you have like Soda Crush and something Crush. You got a bunch of different Candy Crush games. So it's like, what do they do when people stop playing it? Like, is that worth 70 billion? They're not gonna play it forever. Are they gonna come out with something different? You know, it's like with Zynga, they make several games, right? They take games like a Spades, and then they make like a pay model out of it. You know, those games will never end. People will always play those games. But Candy Crush, at some point, it's gonna end.
I do hope this one lasts a little bit longer because, like you said, Gears Pop. I loved it. I actually enjoyed it, but they shut it down because I guess it lost its luster or whatever lust, and it's no more now. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how this one lasts. But there is a pay portion of this. You can buy crystals. You can buy whatever currency stuff that's in the background. But I mean, I haven't bought anything. I just play whatever's given to me.
Yeah. Because like okay, when it comes to these mobile games, they can advertise through the storefronts and things like that, or overtake some other game that you're playing and let you know about it. I haven't seen one app, but I see apps for like the little obstacle course game. I don't know if y'all play phone games.
Well, I'll tell you this: I had no idea about Doom or Mighty Doom until 2 weeks ago.
I didn't know about it until today, or
maybe until 2 weeks ago because it's like, hey, Daddy, did you see about Doom? They got a little mobile game. Has it come out yet? I'm like, what are you talking about? It's called Mighty Doom. And okay, let me look it up. And sure enough, there was a trailer of this game. I'm like, no, I didn't even heard of this. This is before vacation time. And so I'm like, all right, well, let me look it up. Well, there wasn't a release date. This is pretty much just shadow. I mean, it was announced, but it was shadow drop release date. So it came out. What's today? Today's Thursday. So it came out Tuesday. Yeah. It came out Tuesday. And I had no idea it came out, I just happened to look at my phone. I'm like, oh, crap.
Games usually come out on Tuesdays, except for Nintendo. I think Nintendo is Fridays.
Yeah. And so when my son got home Tuesday, I'm like, hey, guess what? Guess what's on mobile now? He's like, what, Dad? I'm like, Mighty Doom. He's like, yes. So you better do your homework first. You better finish your homework.
That's the motivator right there, baby. You get it done quick.
Well, his tablet's locked until I say so. That's the thing. Yeah, he got done with his homework.
You
have to tell me how to do that. I tried and came home and my daughter was playing on a tablet.
Yeah. You gotta have the administrator rights, and then her account.
It completely
you have like the little family deal. I'm on it. I'm an administrator, but it didn't really work the way I wanted it to.
Yeah. I'll explain that later. But yeah, that's what I got right now on that. So yeah, Mighty Doom is pretty fun. If you haven't played it, check it out when you can.
Oh, speaking of mobile, also, there's all this talk about Microsoft opening up on their own Android store, right?
Oh, nice.
So yeah, this
with a store within a store.
Just like Amazon has their Android store.
Oh
right?
Yeah,
they took Android and they forked it.
But you have to like side load it. It's like Samsung phones come with a Samsung store.
Yeah, I don't like their store. Their store sucks.
Like yes,
yeah, mine also came with the Amazon app as well. All those Amazon apps, Uber, certain apps like that were also on my Samsung phone. But also, with the Samsung app stores as well as the Google Play, like it had basically three.
But Amazon has like their own app store. Like you can go get the APK, but like it's not a bloatware app.
Mm-mm.
Right.
So when I started giving
Microsoft's trying to do the same thing.
When I started giving my kids tablets, we started out with the Fire HDs, those Amazon ones.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I just picked it up. I was like, oh, it's $50. I can lose $50 if they break it, right?
Right.
And so we got it. I'm like, what is this crap? Like their OS, right? I'm like, what is this? It's like everything's tied to Amazon. It's like, no, I don't want this. And so I sideloaded Google Play and all the other stuff so we get the real apps. I didn't want all the Amazon crap that was on there. So I did that. They're like through 2 or 3 like tablet periods because they would actually break it. and then I would get to another one, and then have to sideload Google Play services and all that junk.
And
finally,
you realize you messed up all along. You should have left it with the app store it came with.
Well, no, I realized like, you know what? I'm just gonna get some Samsungs, some lower level, entry level tablet from Samsung, and I could just do what I need on it,
What I like about the Amazon stuff with kids is number one, yeah, it's cheap, right? Plastic, but because it's plasticky like that, it's more likely to survive, a beating, right?
Yes.
These kids.
Oh, I baby my Galaxy tablet, man. I baby like,
right.
Oh man,
yeah, of course. But
You better.
Amazon one, not only is
better.
it cheap, it's made to take a little bit of a beating, but also software wise, because it's not as good as the Google Play, that's an advantage too. Like there's less trouble and shenanigans that can get into on a more limited platform.
There
Especially
is, yeah.
The younger the kids are. You want that. Actually.
Yeah. Yep. So, you guys love indie games, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So right now there is a thing called GDC 2023 Idea Xbox, and they're demoing a bunch of games right now until the 27th. So when is the 27th? Monday. So you have all weekend long to try out. I don't know why they even list this game, Arc Runner, which I want to try out, but they said it's not even playable during this event. But they just kind of showcase some indie games. You know how they do it. They like to showcase the indie games and.
Hey, is Arc Runner that one that's made by one dude on Unreal?
Which one? Arc Runner?
I think you might know. Yeah, that game is like, it's like, man, you can juggle. It kind of looks like it's trying to be Devil May Cry at times.
Oh yeah, dude has a sword in that. Oh my god, what's the name of that game? And then they made a next gen version.
No. Okay, yeah, that's called Enra.
Huh? No, not that.
The game that I'm talking about is called Enra. It's like Devil May Cry made by one guy.
This looks cool though, Arc Runner. I think I've seen this in a montage of indie stuff before. It looks interesting.
Yep. So just a little highlight of what they're doing. I don't know what this box is. It looks cool, goofy. A couple of soda can and a dog or cat food can. Evil Wizard, Fall of Porcupine, Fracture Space, looks like a platformer. Skur Ritual. I played Made of Skur, and so if you like horror games, you'll probably like this one. Skur Ritual.
Yeah, wasn't that in Game Pass or Gold?
I think so. Yeah, that's right.
I know I played it. The Made of Skur.
The Isle Tide Hotel. I don't even know what this is about. So a lot of these I never heard of, but hey, man, if I can play them from Game Pass, why not? And then like you said, you can allocate your other funds that you saved and buy something else.
Yep.
Yeah, man, might be able to buy dinner.
What do you eat on the road, man? What do you eat when you're on the road? Just whatever?
Bring my food.
Oh, you bring your food?
Yeah.
You have a little fridge with you?
Uh-huh.
Is it an Xbox fridge?
No, that's not even a fridge.
It's just a cooler?
Yeah, that's an ambient cooler. So, Texas.
Yeah, it's not refrigeration.
Texas is hot, right?
Yeah.
So if your car's it's okay, let's say it's 90 degrees outside, it's only going to be able to get to 50 and it's going to struggle. It's only going to get 40 degrees below the ambient temperature. In Houston, it might be 99, but it feels like 107.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a no-go. And then why would you? It's just $100. It's not like it's a state-of-the-art expensive cooler. So like you put that in your car, and then you wonder why your drinks are warm.
Get some ice.
Yeah, leave it in the house where you should be keeping your thermostat at 70 at all times minimum. And then you have 40-degree drinks.
40.
Punty's
asking, what kind of work do you do?
Stretch driver.
To realist. Punty's asking, what kind of work do you do?
That's what kind of work I do. Well, he's
a driver.
I am a driver. And And that's another thing. Like I don't go far, so it's like I don't need like this hardcore thing. Like I got two meals, one for yesterday, one for today, and it was hey mom, meatloaf. I got some meatloaf, meatloaf, gravy, yellow rice, and green beans.
Nice.
I left last night. I'll be back tonight. It's not. I'm not like a over the road guy. Like legal comes home every day. Sometimes I have to stay out, like
Yeah.
one night. But I got a nice purple mattress in the back.
There you go. With your purple pillow?
No, sir.
No, sir. No.
No, I got a
Is it
pack
a
of three.
silk
I got
pillow?
a pack of 3 pillows for what it costs for
The
purple.
pillow?
I got bamboo pillows.
Wow.
This guy.
The pillows that they sell for $100, I get them on the internet. 300-400. I take it.
All I need is a body pillow. I like the big pillows.
Don't you have a woman?
Yeah, I'm about to say, you have an anime body pillow?
You have a whole pillow between you and your woman?
Yeah, I like to hug my pillow.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
Nah, she gets see.
What the?
I like-
how do we get here?
Yeah, we'll explain that later.
What do you like? I don't want to hear about what you like. Ah,
Uh-oh, what happened?
My phone. And
What
when I
happened?
caught it, I hit the button. Am I on
Oh,
two
wow.
phones?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
on 2 of them.
Why though?
Okay.
All right, I'll be
you
back.
gotta clone that as to drop out. It'll come.
Yeah, let me knock him out. There you go.
Boom.
So he gets it. All right.
Yeah.
Oops. He's on 2 again. Are you there? No,
You might be running 2 different browsers or something? No.
Probably.
Oh, got it.
I'm gonna kick him out. Kick him for the studio. There he goes. He got out himself. Okay. Seriously, Sick, you gotta tell me, because I was coming back from vacation trying to catch up on some news here. And one that caught my attention was, do we really need a new UI for the Xbox?
Oh, I heard about this about a month ago, man. I'm like, what? We finally got this one to a point where everybody likes it again. Yo,
Yeah.
which FYI, let me get into a quick side tangent as an example of what I'm talking about here, right?
Yeah.
Windows, right? You're an IT dude, right? Every current version of Windows is the worst one ever until it becomes the previous one.
Then everybody likes it.
Yeah.
I
It's the
remember when
same-
everybody hated Windows 7. And then when Windows 10
No,
came out,
no,
Windows 8,
okay,
everybody's
Windows-
like, oh, Windows
That
7.
was probably the only one that I would say most people like off top, or at least the most, right?
Yeah.
Because it used to be on and off. There would be the good one, the bad one, the good one, the bad one. But the good one would still get complaints because it's Microsoft and people love to hate on them.
Yeah,
about
of course.
everything they do,
Yeah.
right? But that aside,
Mhm.
like every version of Windows, they're like, the last one was the best, the previous one. They finally got used to it and stopped whining, complaining about shit. And they've had time to work on it and tweak it and get optimized. That takes some time sometimes, right? It's the same thing with these Xbox dashboards. Finally, not only is this the one from last generation, right?
It's the
So
same one
running
from last
on these-
generation, and people
right?
were
It's running on these machines, so it's
crying
a lot
and
faster off
complaining
bat.
about how the Xbox Series should have a new interface because the PlayStation. It's like, if it ain't broke, there's
Don't
no
fix
don't
it.
fix
And-
it. Don't try to
and they have to
replace it.
reinvent the wheel all over again. Because remember what
Yes.
happened when they redid the dashboard between the 360 and the Xbox One? We lost a lot of things. People don't realize. Oh, we have the party chats and all that stuff is there, and text and everything we have before, and invites and all of that, and following people, and just joining wherever they are in whatever game. All of that stuff is there, yeah. But we lost a couple of little things. Like, you remember the original Xbox had it. You could rip your own music to the Xbox and play it in game, right?
Yep.
So then the 360 had that as well, but you could also have your music on your network, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Right. But the cool thing about it,
Media center.
right? But you might be saying, "Oh, we have that still." We can still, yes, you have. But what the difference was, and this is more subtle, it was replacing the audio track built into the game would instead be swapped with your music. So if it's time for a cutscene or change of scenery,
Yeah.
Like in a racing game, you go from the racing, okay, the racing is over, and I'll switch it to the menus where it says, congratulations, you're second place, blah, 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 and all that. So, no, that's a different track that plays, right? Now it's just like, it's as if you're playing your iPad or your stereo in the background with your remote. It's completely, separate from the experience, right?
Yeah.
And that's just one tiny example of many, many, many things that had to be redone completely when the Xbox One came out and they redid that dashboard, right? Every dashboard since that one has been an iteration of that experience, right? It's taken a long time to get to where we are feature-wise again and on new hardware so that, yeah, we had this dashboard since last generation, but it's so much faster on these machines.
It works.
Right, it works. It's been around for that since 2013. They've worked on it for all the major issues. It's only little things here and there and whatever new features they add, right? It's a platform for adding new stuff instead of having to start all over again for what? For
and get familiar with where everything is at.
If you want to change the top layer of looks, they still do. They mess with that stuff all the time, all these years. That's what they've been doing. You want a whole different look? For what? Just for it to look different? To mess everything
and my
up
question has always been, how long are you going to stare at the dashboard?
Right.
Like, who turns it on and just leaves it on the dashboard to say,
as fast as it is now, you get to where you're going.
I think it's time.
Nothing now.
I think it's time to change the dashboard because I'm tired of looking at the same one every time I turn on my Xbox. And I'm like, well, how long do you leave it on the dashboard for you to complain like that?
Right.
Yeah. See, we talk about these guys all the time. It's like, if there's not game news, we'll find something to complain about. And a lot of these Xbox fans, it's like they forgot that Xbox changed the dashboard right before the Series X released. Right? PlayStation didn't do that. So when they brought out the PS5, it felt fresh or whatever. So what? I mean, it's a dashboard. I never said, let me boot up my Xbox to watch the dashboard. Like, if I pick a cool wallpaper and once I set it, and I don't see as much of it as I want to, I move on.
Forget it.
You know what I'm saying? Because I said it, and I was like, man, you know what? It is pretty much blocked. But I didn't get on here to watch my wallpaper move either. It's like these guys, they complain about things that really don't matter, and it's like Xbox fans don't understand what's going on with their Xbox because they changed the dashboard right before the Series X release. Now, PlayStation does have the nice move music. Their dashboard is in 4K. I could care less if the dashboard is in 420 or whatever it is, in 480 or whatever. I don't care because you don't play. You don't.
Right, but back then, they decided to save memory, which is a better pick.
You know who has a ugly dashboard to me? Steve. But nobody complains about it. Even big picture is big picture. You can tell they're trying to make it better, but it's not nice. It's not pretty. Sony does have the prettiest dashboard, but I don't play the dashboard. But and people hate it in tech. People hated Windows 7 because it was a memory hog. Like you had to have a really good
I think
computer.
You mean Vista. No, that was Vista. By the time
Vista.
7 came out,
Vista and then 7 was supposed to fix it. But now they kind of
Vista.
Yeah.
Now they kind not because you notice like Vista didn't last long at all.
Well, remember Windows.
Same with 8 and 10. Yeah, but
Windows.
I didn't have no problems with that. And not only that, my cousin, I remember he had a 98 SC machine. He had got it just before ME came out, right? And then they sent him the disc, right? I wiped his whole machine, fresh drivers in it. He never had a problem with it. I never had a problem with it. Everybody else I know, oh my God, their computers were crashing. I was like, what are you doing? But I never had a problem. My cousin never had a problem. That's it.
You never had a crash, but like it was a resource hog. Like it'll be at 70%.
Vista was bad, but for me, ME was fine. But Vista, yes, Vista was all of those things. People were so upset.
But if you notice now, like, because y'all are on 11, right?
Yeah.
They pretty much
about 11. Everybody thinks that 10 is God.
I thought 11 was nice. I mean, we get a new dashboard, it's something new to look at. Okay, but I don't get on my computer to play with the interface either. You know what I'm saying? But if you notice, they're giving it kind of a tablet feel. And like everything has like the home button, and then you can configure it however you want it to explode. But And I'm not complaining about a dashboard. What I will complain about is that freaking DVR.
Windows
That
Media
DVR,
Center, right? Oh my god.
the DVR the recordings come out dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
There's a reason for that, and I forgot why.
It's the Black Crush thing.
I know
what
what
you call that?
Because
Yeah, it's like 16
when I
to
look at it on my
235
computer, I'm
and
like,
0 to
why
55.
is it so dark?
Yeah.
I forgot why.
It's unlimited instead of full range or whatever.
Something like that. I forgot. It's a setting. I think it's a setting.
yeah,
It's a setting.
know, but I know
problem.
that I can see them trying to make their improvements. You can trim videos now and edit them. That's a plus.
Well, what I do like on the PlayStation that's not on the Xbox is that when you do a recording, it's I guess it's based on how much space you have on your console. Whereas on Xbox, if you do a recording, it's for 1 minute. You can't do a long-term recording. You can do a long-term recording as long as you hook up an external drive.
Right. They don't want you doing it on the system drive.
They don't want you doing it on a system. And I was like, well, that's kind of a downer.
Well, I'm not going to say I don't understand one aspect. I still disagree with the fact that they did that. But it's because these are SSDs. You don't want those constant writes on them all the time. And DVRing will definitely do that to it. So I guess that's their reasoning why. And so makes me think not too highly of the fact that Sony decided to do it. Although SSD wearing isn't as bad as it used to be either. So it's it's kind of overblown now. Nobody really talks about that anymore on top of that because of that reason, I guess. But yeah, I guess that would be the only reason I think Microsoft would have chosen to do that. I feel that's why they want an external drive, and not only that, to not limit the bandwidth on the SSD while it's doing the game and stuff. Let you record that to something else, and meanwhile the game has the whole SSD to do what it's doing. But
But yeah, I came back and I'm trying to catch up on some things to talk about today, and I'm like, what is this? People are really complaining about the dashboard. I'm saying it's working great. I remember most recently that when you go to the store to look at what games are on sale, the little thumbnails would never load. It would just be a big gray box and the title, and it had to do with the OS, and all they did was just optimize it. They made it work better, and now everything loads up like it's supposed to really fast, and everything is where it's supposed to be. Everybody's familiar with the dashboard and all the settings behind the dashboard. So why try to update it and change it just because we need something new and fancy and shiny? It's like, no, just leave it the way it is. It's fine. And it's like,
maybe you have a crew that you have to pay, and you say, hey, you guys go do something with your time. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just stupid. All right. I mean, stupid subject to kind of get your arms up.
It's like Windows now. You got the top layer, right, that we see the interface, and you got the bottom layer actually doing all the plumbing and all the actual work. The top layer, they changed all the time graphically. If that's what people really want, the thing is what the issue is, really, I think, is that there's the knowledge that behind the scenes, like in the Wizard of Oz, hey, don't look behind the curtain and ignore the guy you see behind the curtain. Like everybody knows that behind the curtain is the same thing, right? Yeah. But up front is different. That behind the scenes, everything that you're actually working with is the same thing, and it's not different. It's not a new paradigm like that. It's just a new coat of paint. Everybody knows that's what it actually is. Unlike with the PlayStation, every system, it's a new interface, mostly completely. And
a lot of people didn't even like this new interface.
And they don't even like it, but it's different. That's what they'll say. But of course, once again, when it comes to Sony,
it's in 4K, man.
Whatever they can say, and it's 4K on Xbox now too. They figured out how to save the memory and get to 4K. So
it's 4K, man, on the PlayStation. PlayStation had it first, man.
Who cares?
And y'all know what else I get tired of hearing about? People complaining.
What grinds your gears?
Man, I'm gonna tell you what grinds my gears. When they complain about the freaking expansion. It's like, dude,
with the card?
They're not. Yes, they're not competing with the open market SSDs. It's proprietary. Like if that's a deal breaker for you, because I'm gonna tell you like this, man, they're not gonna take a loss because you complain.
Right.
Seagate needs to make money, and Microsoft wants to make money for letting them make it. Like they're not gonna all of a sudden cut it because you got what's the name? You got all these Sabrent and Samsung and Seagate, all these competing against each other. That's why those prices go down. Like this proprietary card is not trying to compete with those cards, and I don't see Microsoft lowering the prices just
Oh,
because
no,
people complain.
you rarely see them, and if they do, it's by
You, you,
$20.
you're gaming for $15 a month, but you complain. They need to learn how to reallocate tech.
Yeah.
Right? You're saving the money from Game Pass. Go buy an expansion.
Well, you
Another.
know what? This is what I tell everybody: do what I do. Just wait.
Not what I said.
Look in all these online marketplaces. You'll find one for cheap, right? Because, all right, the first one, I'll give it to you. I paid full price for my first 1 terabyte.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. The second one, I didn't buy till months later, right? And I was looking on OfferUp of all places, and somebody had it for 140. Dude, I contacted that person really quick. It's like, do you still have it? They're like, yeah. You gonna ship it? They're like, yeah. Okay, boom. I paid it, shipped it, got it within a week. Dude, I paid 140 for it. Okay. 140 for a $220 product. Okay.
Yep.
Then what was it a few months ago? I told you guys. It's like I was doing a show. It was a day on I was going to do a show. I had 1 hour to go to like 15 miles and back on rush hour, during rush hour, where I was able to score another 1 terabyte for 120. Brand new, not used, brand new. Right. So now I have what? 2, 3, I think. Yeah, 3 1 terabyte cards, which 2 of them I only paid like, 120 and 140 for.
I bought 2 of them day one. Like I got a Series S and then I had a Series X, and I
Well,
got
that's because
2
you're a baller.
expansions. No.
Yeah, man. You should buy me a Quest 3 when it comes out.
Yeah, you made enough fun of me, Sid. But
I'm
for
saying,
me,
buy me a Quest 3.
when's your birthday? Okay,
October.
October. Oh, that's enough. Hey, that's enough money, man. Look, I mean, enough time to save that money. I have 2 external SSDs because I don't want to be swapping. Because like my stuff is up on the wall, so like I have a Samsung external and a what's the P one? PNY. They're 1 gig apiece, and they are 1 gig rewrite. And when I move files through the Xbox, it's saying that it's 3 gig write speed.
I got one of these. That's what I used to do to move
But
games.
I've moved Red Dead in like 2 minutes. It's like if you want to save some money, yeah, it's like 100 gigs.
Yeah.
So like if you can't wait 2 minutes to move a file around, I have some Series X and S games on those. They're mostly last gen games, but I have some SX games on those external SSDs. Like if you like Xbox, they chose proprietary. That was a deal breaker for you. Should have got a PlayStation. But what people forget is that when the generation first started, we were the ones that were saying we have an SSD that works.
Yeah.
But now PlayStation has theirs, and they're able to find some cheaper, and now they want to complain about the price. But we weren't complaining when we actually had access to our SSDs right out of the box.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
When I bought it, when I got my system, I got the 1 terabyte. I wish I had a 2.
Yeah, they robbed the train, funny.
I just tell people, just shop around. It doesn't take that much effort to go to OfferUp, eBay, 5 Miles, even Craigslist. Look around. Nobody needs that hard drive that bad right today. I just got my third one, 2 months ago or so.
Dude,
But how many games can you play at once?
Exactly. How many games can you really play?
Like I have 1 external on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to open up my console. I have a PC for that.
Right.
Like people complain about too much, but what it is PlayStation has no games. Xbox is about to close the deal. Xbox players are starting to get spoiled, so we need to complain about everything now.
Yep. Now remembering how we got here.
All right. Enough with these complainers. Let's talk about The Redfall.
Somebody got to slap the complainers, man.
What about the Redfall complainers, man? So it's now there's an article stating that this was supposed to be a PlayStation game also.
So the F what? They bought the company. Enough said. Next topic. Like, really, bro? Come on. Really? How many countless examples do we have on the PlayStation side? Everybody's talking about that one game, Stella, whatever. The game where you're following the girl's ass.
Stellar Blade, but that it was Blade. Project E. So they changed the name so that they can't say, so nobody can say it was announced for Xbox.
Yep, it was announced for X. Oh, right. Oh, I see you. But still, this game was actually announced for Xbox with the name, the logo, everything. Okay, that's that, and we don't complain about that. We're like, oh, god damn it, Sony did it again, right? And we moved the F on because we got games to play. Which is another thing we found out behind this whole merger thing. You PlayStation dudes really ain't buying your games. Even the third parties know it.
All the dirty info is coming out, man.
Everything we've been saying has been validated now by the industry itself.
But it feels so good.
Yes, the validation is so real right now, bro. It really is. Like, so these folks need to shut their mouths. Like, shut the hell up. Do you know how many times it's thing now, don't it? You don't even care about the game. It's about the fact that we have it and you don't. Because not so long ago, you didn't care about this game.
Now everybody was trashing it, right?
Right. Now they care about
the game. So now all of a sudden that article comes out, and of all places, IGN, the most trustworthy site you can go for gaming news, and they say like, oh, Redfall is supposed to come out on PlayStation, but since Phil Spencer bought the studio, he said no, it's going to change with the capital C.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Like, I think we hit on this earlier. We always knew that Xbox did not buy Bethesda for $7 billion to support PlayStation.
Yeah,
I don't understand. Like, the only reason why Ghostwire and Deathloop hit PlayStation because they were already in the agreement. I don't understand why any of these it's you know what? It's about calling Phil. It's about calling Phil a liar.
Have to adhere to when they bought the company.
But the narrative is all about just trying to make Phil into being a liar. Like, he never said that he never took any Bethesda games away because it was never on PlayStation to take away. So the narrative is not about Xbox bought it. Oh, Phil's a liar, and none of that matters. I don't care how they feel about Phil. They should go try to check Jimmy. Jimmy's trying to support the PS5 until 2025. I mean PS4 until 2025. I was in Target the other day and I saw 3 PS5s for the same price as the Series S on the shelf. Like, that's ridiculous. That's what they need to get off of Phil and start worrying about Jimmy. Jimmy is the one that's holding back gaming. They're looking for any opportunity they can to talk about the Series S and how it's holding back gaming because the small dev can't figure out how to make split screen work. Like, get out of here, bro. Like, I'm not, that's pony narrative. I'm going to be playing Redfall and Game Pass. We see how Sony treats Bethesda or ZeniMax properties. Deathloop was a flop. Ghostwire was a flop. They have it in the service and they still don't want to play it. So they bring it back home where it belongs, right? We never care about Sony's games. We never cry about not having a Sony game. Sony buys Spider-Man. We're like, okay, they even bought Bungie and Xbox. I didn't see one Xbox fan say, "Oh shucks." especially when Bungie, as soon as right after it was announced, they said we are multi-plat. Ah, shoot, what y'all do then? Like, there's nothing to talk about. So Sony gave them money to do what the hell they want to do.
Yeah.
And they say, well,
hey, we're going to give you money for what?
Yeah.
Just because. Yeah. All right.
But that just shows you the level of desperation that Sony, had at that time, and it's only getting more.
Is it more like a bribe? Like, hey, here's some money. All right, so we can still do what we want. It's like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'll take your word for it. We're still going to put multi-plat.
Really? Oh yeah. Okay.
We're going to announce it. Jimmy's probably like, dude, we just gave you some money.
Yeah, and if you know Bungie, Bungie can't really control that renegade streetwalker. You know what I'm saying? She'll never they'll never be restrained. They'll never look at what they did with Microsoft. Oh, we won out. Look at Activision. They couldn't even finish the deal. They're not going to be much different with Sony, especially if Sony tries to push their own agenda on them. But at the end of the day, we didn't care that they were purchased by Sony. We didn't care about Housemarque. We don't care about any of that. We're not looking for more.
And Sony's an old school kid, man, with the switchblade and the curly hair and the effeminate walk. Like, you better watch out. You get $1.50. You get $1.50 real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, let them continue to crop up Bethesda games because, like, when Starfield drops, it's going to be bad. But in a few years, when Elder Scrolls 6 hits, oh, man, you're going to need mops on the streets. Because they're going to be crying. This has always been a PlayStation game. Xbox can't innovate. Get it?
Here's what I hear. Xbox cannot innovate. It's always been multi-plat. And nobody should be allowed to buy a whole publisher. Studio's okay, but not entire publishers. It's like, man, if you got the money for it, just buy the whole thing.
Bro, Microsoft should not have to be penalized because their competitor doesn't have the same buying power.
Yeah. The hell.
I've been saying it for years. They bet on the wrong horse. I was just waiting for Microsoft to vindicate me for standing up because for a while it was looking bleak over here. I'm like, man, this is $1 trillion company. Y'all you know what? Once Microsoft gets started, y'all not gonna like the results. And I was saying, what are they gonna do? Go ahead.
The era that everybody's talking about, like, oh, it was the worst for Xbox. Was it really for you the worst that Xbox can give you?
Bro,
what era?
About that time in the
I guess the Xbox One, which was the worst one.
Okay, so between
that was the only console I had.
15 and 20, whenever the One X came out, right? Because that's when we ran out of games for that little while there, right? Yeah. That didn't look too good, but it was a bad time. But once the One X was announced and all that stuff, it started picking up from then. Once Phil was in charge and really was able to do stuff, because he had been there for a little bit before he really saw any impact, and then all of a sudden, slowly, it started changing at Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, I never felt it. I'm always busy with some game, whether if it was a first party or third party. I was always busy, and when I hear all these comments about it's the worst and everything on Xbox,
I was busy playing games to notice, bro. And on top of that, too, let's not forget perception matters big time. More than it's like they say, it's the best of times, it's the worst of times. I remember there was a time for 6 months I lived with my sister, right, in Long Island. That was simultaneously the worst time and the best time in my life. I think back fondly now, right?
Why? Because you were living with your sister?
Yeah, and she has 5 kids, and it was just nuts. I was working in Long Island, so it was easier to just live with her and stuff, right? And bro, oh my god! But I think back fondly on those times, right? That's the same thing with the Xbox. In the actual time of it, is actually reversed for me. In fact, I knew things weren't too good, but I was too busy having fun with the games. Now I look back on the history of what was going on. Yeah, it was a bad time, but my point is, look at all the things that have been happening to PlayStation and Sony since, I want to say, the announcement of the Xbox Series X at the Game Awards, right?
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Ever since then, if you was to put the shoe on the other foot and Sony and Xbox was to swap positions, they would have called for the solution to Xbox even more than they did back then.
I remember when it's they need to sell Xbox, they need to spin it off.
Right. But what Sony went through, arguably, I would say, was way worse than everything that Microsoft went through that entire time. If you think back on every single bad headline, back and forth, and let's not forget, dude, there was a VP with a PlayStation 5 shirt on, right? Who thought he was about to meet up with a 15-year-old boy for sex allegedly, and it's caught on camera.
4K.
It caught on camera at 4K. They caught this dude in 4K, and all of a sudden,
somehow
that dude early that Monday morning, and Yeah, and then nobody talks about him anymore.
And
But if it
somehow
was
people are
Microsoft,
mad at
oh
Phil.
my god,
You lied, Phil. You're like, but you're not mad at that dude.
oh my god. And if that was anybody at Microsoft, oh my god, and that's just one of, and it was a nearly daily thing, at least weekly. There was at least one thing, right?
Ponte's like, trust me, it's better than living with your mom. I would never go back and live with my mom. My friends would laugh at me. I'd rather live in a bus shelter. Okay, pause.
No, it's not like I had to live there. I could have lived on my own, right? But in Long Island, right? And I was working in the same town that she lived in. So I just lived there for like 6 months until the job was done.
If it was just me, I can do either my mom or my dad's house.
Yeah.
My dad's house, because he really don't care what I do. My mom's house, she would have some great cooking. Some food.
Right.
She'll get me like super fat.
Oh, and the other thing too is like, because your friends would laugh at you, dude. If you're a loser, you're not making no money and putting stuff together that one day you can get out the nest. Like, yo, that's what your parents are supposed to do for you. But you better be on that grind to get up out of there. But if that's what you're doing,
better go.
And
don't burn up
laughing at you too,
trying to stay here off what?
Right, but at least if you're working towards that though, right? And your peeps is laughing at you, those are not your peeps. That's for real. Like,
facts.
I wouldn't be effing.
That's what I was gonna say, something along those lines, bro. Because like everybody doesn't just hit the streets and figure it all out. Like my cousin just left from me. You know,
clout.
He hit a rough spot. You know, it is what it is. You know, he
wasn't even ready for it.
Yeah, he hit a rough spot, and you know, like I said, I was gonna talk about happy things, but I had a loved one, and he hit a rough spot, and he couldn't handle it.
Oh man.
You know, so if you got what are you laughing at?
The punt over here.
Me, if you're not between 25 or 45, I don't want to have sex with you. Punty, I don't want to have sex with you, bro. I see what you look like right there with your cute
hey man, Punty, go watch Fresh and Fit, man. You'll learn a lot.
No, but still though, between those ages, you better be on the grind. You better not be living with your parents forever. I agree. 100%, bro. You're not wrong. I want to repeat that. You're not wrong. But you better be on the grind to get up and get out independently one day. Don't just because you're there 22? Early on and you're 22.
What are friends and family for if they can't look out for you?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
my sister did for me.
I hope nobody laughs at you. You know, if you ever got in that rough spot. I mean, but you buy $3,000 tennis shoes, so disposable income is, you know, it's no problem. Not you, but Punty. So
Punty does.
It's
okay, he got the money like that.
Yeah.
He got $3, bro.
He got that bread.
He got that.
Yeah, he got more bread than me.
Go to Canada.
You gotta go half with me, man.
Wow.
Go halfies.
Wow.
Yeah, but man,
like that, huh?
You ought to be glad. That somebody's there to look out for you, man. But yeah, I heard your story. I understood everything you said. You said it was closer to work. You didn't say I was at a low point in life. You said, I tried that. I tried that with my brother-in-law, man, because a class I needed to take for 2 weeks. Man, that was hell. Because so you know how you can feel when somebody doesn't want you there. They can tell you no. But I said, you know what? It's just 2 weeks. And then eventually they didn't want me to leave. And I think people get used to their routines, and then you break their routine. That's why I always let somebody know that it's appreciated to look out for somebody.
It was her idea.
That's what I was about to say. That's why I always.
It was like, wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I see somebody look out for their family, I always say, man, you're doing something good. You know, because man, a lot of people will not welcome you, and they won't make you feel welcome. They'll let you know, man, you need to be moving expeditiously. You need to go. You need to be waking up with purpose. I better not wake up with you on the sofa. You know?
It's like the only reason they even invite you to be there was so they can, you know, hold that as clout over you or over someone else.
Yep.
But they don't really want you there. I'm like, God.
Bro, when I was in college, I had to go stay with my granny. Oh man, my granny didn't really want me there. Like, I would come home right when I knew she was about to go to sleep.
Oh,
because I didn't want to look at her. But I didn't have anywhere else to go. It was hard, man. It was hard. The next step was Star Hope or something, man, because I was a struggling student. I was bagging groceries to pay my well, you don't want to let's talk about games.
Yeah, let's go back to Tiny. We'll talk about games. Yeah.
Hey man, you know we're gonna have our tangents.
Yeah. We'll do another tangent after this one because this is the last thing I got. So supposedly, I don't know. This is another Bethesda game.
I don't know.
That Starfield was a timed exclusive. That's the new thing now. That I read like a couple of days ago.
The copium, man.
Yes.
Yo, they huff. It's like huffing paint. I swear to God.
What's up, 100? Yeah, 100. Yeah. So Starfield now is another one that's supposed to be a timed exclusive, which is not now. And it's another game that the evil empire Xbox took away from the PlayStation fans.
Oh no.
Oh no. Well, first of all, they never announced that this game was coming out on PlayStation.
In fact, the only thing we know
only because they're so used to Bethesda games coming on all platforms, they just assumed.
Oh no, the rabbit hole is deeper than that. Because remember, the only association that we have with PlayStation and Starfield was that Sony was attempting to make it exclusive to PlayStation. It wasn't even going to be multi-plat. It was going to be exclusive.
Oh,
they were going to steal it from everyone else. But they got beaten to the punch. So that's what really happened with that game. Of all the games that they shouldn't be talking about, when you are reminded of that specific history with Starfield and the PlayStation, they especially shouldn't be talking that crap about this one. They shouldn't be talking that crap in general, but especially not this one because they wanted this one exclusive. They were going to take it from everybody else.
Yeah. So that's something I saw this week, and I find it funny because if it's not Redfall, now it's Starfield, and they're gonna go back and forth, and cry about it.
You're gonna need mops in the streets when ES6 drops.
You know, I was told constantly, and it was in my face, saying that Xbox don't have games, and now that they're getting games, they want the Xbox games on their platform. What happened to the Xbox has no games? I don't know.
Microsoft's buying the entire industry, creating a monopoly.
What happened to they just want Xbox to compete, right? Hey, Satya Nadella is with y'all. Yo, you want to smoke?
But not like that, Stick. Not like that.
Oh, wait a minute. You mean like Dr. Serizawa and Godzilla? Let them fight. Either way, man. You want to smoke?
Just like I tell the Yankee fans, if you want your Yankees to win, you got to compete against the Astros. The Astros have been mopping you guys up for the last 5 years. But hey, that's not our fault. You guys suck.
Oh, we suck.
I don't know what's up with the Yankees, bro. Ever since George Steinbrenner died, they don't spend like they used to.
There you go. See?
And then as big as Houston is, they still consider it a small market team.
That's right. It doesn't even matter.
But
we'll get into that later. We'll talk about stuff.
Okay. All right, but when it comes to Starfield, man, once again, you have PlayStation fans hoping for Xbox games. I just want for anybody anywhere to show me where Xbox fans are asking for PlayStation games. Now, I've heard Xbox guys ask for Xbox to make a game like PlayStation has, like a superhero game, right? Or
make it exclusive as payback.
Or a movie game, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, and they also wanted. Microsoft said years ago that they weren't going to play the timed exclusivity game, and they're still saying that Microsoft should try to match them. But if you look at what's going on with these regulators, they're calling Sony out for all that. See, and Microsoft is able to say, "Oh yeah, we don't do that." Because if you look at the games that they get exclusive, they're not AAA games. They're not big games. And what Sony's been doing for years is underhanded, like blocking Japanese games, and that is stopping Xbox's growth in the region. If they're doing Japanese games,
now.
Why would Japanese players want to invest in a console if there's no content for them? So all this stuff is being called to the carpet. But Starfield was never announced for PlayStation. I don't understand why PlayStation fans care so much about it. They are probably the ones who coined the phrase Bugdesta, right? They complain about everything Bethesda does, but all of a sudden they want to rally around it not being on PlayStation come September or whenever it releases. I don't get that fan base. I pretty much ignore that fan base for the most part because they don't make a lot of sense. Like
Dude, it's the
Xbox is
same
not making games for
rhyme
PlayStation.
and lack of
End of the
reason.
story.
It's the same rhyme and lack of reason every time. Like I was saying, from the moment when the Series X was first showed off at the Game Awards, right? It became a pattern of where almost weekly, basically, because at first it was kind of slow. It was almost weekly, and then it was weekly. Where at the beginning of the week, the PlayStation fanboys would start some negative narrative about the Xbox, and by the week's end, it was disproven, and all the dudes who started it were all lined up, right, and laughed at by the rest of the internet, right? And that would happen on a weekly basis for like a year. Then it started being a near daily basis, right? So now it's just like, we already know what they're going to do in whatever happens. No matter what direction, what road fate takes us down in terms of these situations, we already know what they're going to say and do. It's just whatever is to their advantage, as if they're children. This is why I always say, yo, they think and act like children. Even their excuses are that of children. It's always the same crap. So it doesn't even matter what they say. Because in the end, it doesn't matter what they say, because that's not what's winning in the market. That's not what's making profit. That's not what's bringing all the games to the platform, all the features, all these things we're getting, right? So who cares? You can sit there and believe and lie to as many people as you want because you think, because what's really happening is the casuals don't know one way or another, right? And they just
they don't
go
know.
with whoever is
it's wherever the game is at.
Yeah, whoever is the popular one. The last generation, that was PS4 because it was more powerful and cheaper. And even though at first it didn't happen, as all PlayStations don't, right? It didn't have games at very first. Eventually, there was a litany game from every direction, right? And Sony made sure to keep it such that the whole exclusivity thing really played for them. This is why, even as successful as they were, they still have no goddamn money. Where'd all the money go after all the success? You sold over 120 million systems, right? Where's all the money at?
They spend it on time exclusivity. They spend it on time exclusivity deals.
Exactly my point. They spent it on these deals. So now they don't have any money, but they have this status like they did something for you. How many games do they really have this generation so far? Most of it is just, bro. And they'll just spin the logic a million different ways. It's predictable now. We already just called what they're going to say and do when it's related to this because we already know. It's that much of a pattern with them. Like, who cares? It doesn't even matter anymore. It really doesn't. None of it matters.
He spent it on Morbius.
Yeah.
But Sick, I don't know. But Sick, I don't know the name of the executive who told Jim to fix the broken model, right? And it's a broken model. Basically, they are they're more invested in selling and being a storefront, right? They would love for their titles to sell with third party sell, but they can't manage to make that happen.
Or something, and they basically got him out.
Yeah, I don't know, but they can't.
Sony. Yeah,
I don't think he ever left. He's like the Godfather. But like, when it comes to PlayStation, the model is broken and it's being torn apart at the seams because you got games like Call of Duty that they'll no longer control. Right? People do not come to PlayStation. The reason why I'm talking about this is because you said people moved around and they went to PlayStation. PlayStation had exclusives. People who play PlayStation, it's been proven they do not go to PlayStation for anything that PlayStation has exclusive, right? You have those same 20, 30 million that'll buy the games, right? The majority of people are playing PlayStation for the third party games. And every customer, right, for the most part, that Xbox has taken, PlayStation had those were PlayStation to lose. They had 150 million consoles sold during the PlayStation 2 era, and then they decided to drop a $600 console with the PS3. Eventually, a lot of those people were able to go back to PlayStation once it became $200. Isn't it? They're not playing PlayStation for what PlayStation does, right? Those exclusivity deals mean a lot to them, and that's the way they built their business to be predicated on timed exclusivity deals. What is the word? Deceptive marketing behind those deals, and that's where they are. And once those run out, where does Sony go? Because people are not there for their games. Because let's just say Microsoft strikes a deal with FIFA next. Then what? You can't act like you're the only one who has FIFA, or you're not the only one who could put up a FIFA cardboard cutout Neymar or whomever they want to advertise. All those things play into what Sony does, and that's why Sony is in deep, deep, deep trouble. I mean, I like Packer. I've always liked what he had to say. I don't agree with everything he has to say, but I'm always careful because a lot of times it's like when he speaks in favor of your platform, you're like, oh, he's great. And then when he says something negative, then it's like, oh, man, he didn't know what he's talking about. Because all last generation, they loved Pachter, but they hate him now. But Pachter is right.
But it's messed up with Pachter. Because I remember when Pachter first came out, right?
The Pack Attack.
Right. No, but even before then, when he was just a dude who, because this is not really his industry per se, but it's adjacent to what he does. And so he was always hearing a lot of stuff about the industry, and he was putting it out there at very first, right? And then he got into the Pack Attack where it was actually really a show. But he was just a dude who at very, very, very first, right? Who's just putting his opinion out there on the web. I don't even know if Twitter was up at that point, right? And people would listen to him because he made a lot of sense, and you knew there wasn't a bias with him, right? Then after a while, they started looking at his track record. It wasn't so great, right? And so he got dismissed for a while. But then when he was talking positively about PlayStation, now, and everything he said, I honestly believe is just so what he believes is, it has no bias. There's no other intent other than to tell what he thinks, right? He's not being paid by nobody to say anything in particular. He's saying what he wants to, right? It's pretty clear. He's at least neutral in that. He'll say what he thinks, right? So when he was saying positive things about PlayStation, oh, they loved him. But now he's on the outs. He's talking positive about Xbox. Oh, no,
he's bad now.
Yeah, he was saying PlayStation was going to dominate the gen. But see, he's a market analyst. He is an unbiased party because he's there to help his customers make money. And he was on somebody's show. He was on an investment show speaking about his track record, because you said his stuff is spotty. No, it's just that when it comes to
wait, stop. You were botting. So the key part you said, his track record was what?
You said that his track record spotty, but no, it's just, I'm here, but if you can't hear me, I'll shut up.
No, you're good now. You can continue.
All right, am I good now? No, I'm saying you're saying that his track record was spotty. It's just that he's a market analyst, forecaster. So a lot of the things that he forecasted haven't come to pass yet. Like him saying that PlayStation, as we know it, is not going to exist in 2 years. That means that we're got to hear 10 years of PlayStation fans saying that he's a crock.
Right.
But but he is not. Like a lot of things that he has said is come to pass. Nobody bats 100%.
Right.
And
but
if you watch
when his percentage was kind of low for like a set period, but then now, if you were to look at it now, I believe I've seen where somebody went inside there and counted. But there was a period like at the end of the 360 era, early Xbox One era, where if you was to look at all his predictions at that point, right, it didn't look too good, and now it's better.
Well, this is the thing. It's the difference when somebody puts him on a spot and asks him a question and he doesn't shy away from it. Or when he's serious, like he was on this investor show that I'm talking about, and answering real questions about the Activision merger, the future of gaming, like all these things that Microsoft's been telling us, Pachter's confirming, but I'm pretty sure he's not reaching these conclusions on his own either. Right. You know, things are about to change in the gaming industry. You look at what he was saying about mobile, and I had to look at it, man. My kids really. I just bought my baby a Series S, my girl. So I bought him a Series S because my girl wanted to play Halo. And then I came home, I said, let's play Halo. She said, all right. And she never got off Roblox on her tablet.
Yes.
That's where she prefers to play. And she's not alone. I know you saw the little kid, man, his little baby boy, and he was like doing work on Warzone on his tablet. Like that's where kids want to play, and that's where Xbox is trying to get. With games like Doom and Baby Doom, you'll probably have a Baby Master Chief next. You know, you're going to have a whole lot of games that Microsoft comes with that are going to be geared towards the mobile platform.
Baby
Why
Doom.
are you laughing?
Mighty Doom.
Mighty Doom. Mighty Doom. Mighty Doom. But yeah, so he's. I see a lot of the things that he forecast they're going to come to pass, because you can see how Sony, just look at how Sony's reacting. Just like when that executive told Jim Ryan, fix this broken model. It's broken. Why? Look at what they did to Nintendo. They pushed Nintendo to a spot to where Nintendo had to fight on their own with their own. Nintendo didn't have third party support, so what they do? Double down on their own. What is Sony gonna do? See, Sony is nothing without being number one. Sony is nothing without selling near 100 million consoles.
Yeah,
Because at that point, they're not the largest storefront. And if they're not the largest storefront, they're nowhere near number one. Well, I mean, Tencent is number one now, and they're not close to Tencent. But they're not even gonna. They won't even be close to Microsoft. I just saw it like on this list. Activision made 7 billion. Right? You add 7 billion to 16, then where you at? 23.
yeah.
So Microsoft's not far away from Sony once its acquisition closes. And then with Microsoft's funding, they could do way more projects because that's what I was saying. I don't understand how long King could last with just this one, I guess, franchise. This one game with many variations. What else does King do? Do y'all know? Y'all gonna make me do some research on King.
All I know is they have like a lot of back end stuff when it comes to mobile. It's not so much their software up front,
They
like
got
their
Candy
titles.
Crush.
I think it's their back end stuff.
They got Candy Crush. They got Farm Hero Saga, Bubble Witch 3 Saga.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, they got a bunch of little.
Because one of the more important things to Microsoft than the money is the data. You have the user data to over
their advertising money. Yep.
Yeah, to over $1 billion. $1 billion users. For that game, you got all that user data. So I guess right along with money is the user data. That's why they wanted to buy Discord, TikTok. The user data is more valuable to these companies than the actual IP that drew them in. All right, I'm done.
Dude. Ken Games is all about microtransactions. That's how they made their money.
Oh, yeah.
But remember, they have a whole network because there was a number of games, all those games you listed and more that you didn't, right? That leverage all that stuff. And remember, this is the same Activision with World of Warcraft, right? That's a lot of in-game microtransaction in terms of the way stuff works with loot drops and stuff, right?
Yeah, but that's Blizzard. I was talking about King. We know how Blizzard
but it's the same
and
company,
Activision work.
But because they bought them in like 2014 or whatever.
I think it's 14. I think you're right.
Yeah, so it's been nearly a decade since they bought them. They've been integrated well within like the high times of World of Warcraft, when World of Warcraft was at its heights still, right? So yeah, that back end stuff is highly important. All those systems for microtransactions, all that knowledge and experience from a different point of view, all that advertising revenue, the advertising potential. This is how Google makes their money. It's all advertising money. And a big chunk of Microsoft's is as well, but nowhere near, right? But they're
Microsoft's trying. Microsoft's trying.
Right. This is not just a game. It's not just a game related purchase. It's not just about the gaming.
It's everything behind it.
There's everything behind it. It's like, it's like when they say like Native Americans, when they kill a buffalo, they use every piece of the buffalo. It's kind of like the same with ABK. Every aspect of this acquisition means something to Microsoft.
This guy brought in buffaloes.
Because Microsoft has to get past the fact that the number one search term on Bing is Google.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, they got to get past that. But I see what they're trying to do. They're coming with a multi-pronged attack. They want to be well. They already have the like marketing deals with like Netflix to handle their marketing, things like that. And then you have the cloud, which they're number one in now. So they're gonna come with so much that they're gonna take over something. Microsoft I don't understand. I mean, Apple doesn't have to do much, but man, that iPhone is just crazy for them.
Mm-hmm.
You tried it out and you didn't like it, did you?
I mean, that's my other phone, but like I prefer my Android. It's not a bad phone. I prefer an Android, especially when you compare it to my Fofo.
Yeah, your Fofo.
I got my Fofo, man.
Make sure your kids don't grow no more.
Right, because man, I went to the little screen earlier, and I'm like, all right. I was trying to play Twitter on my iPhone. It's just not the same.
No.
But yeah, man, like
And what I like about Android is that you can sideload older versions of Twitter, because the new version, I do not like the new version, the current version of Twitter.
Yeah, it doesn't even work well in spaces. Like when somebody adds you in, if they're not Android and they add you into the thing, like
I don't like it. So
install the older ABK and that fixes it.
Yep, I installed the older ABK or whatever APK or whatever it's called, and I turned off updating for that one app.
Well, hopefully that's soon to come to Apple because of the EU or whatever was going on with that. So they might finally be forced to open up, which would also relate back to what I was saying earlier about Microsoft. They're opening their own app store, right? If now Apple is forced to open up in that degree, now Microsoft could put it on that too. So this could really blow up into something real major, really major.
Yeah, Microsoft is about to have them make some Apple bust it open, same way they had them to open up Windows.
Yeah,
like they won't be able to continue to have this quote unquote walled garden that they've been having, and that's how Microsoft's attacking Google. You notice Google and Microsoft no longer have the same relationship because that Surface Duo or whatever it was called, that was an Android phone.
Yeah.
And we already know that they gave Activision $360 million to not open up an app store.
Yep.
So
wait. Was it Microsoft or Google did that? Which one?
Google did that.
Google did that, right?
Microsoft has no reason to do that. Google did, and they gave money to Tencent. They gave money to about 5 companies that I read about, but the biggest one was Activision. It was most pertinent to the talking point, which was Activision and Microsoft. So there's nothing that Google can offer Microsoft to make them not open an app store, and that's how they're attacking the regulators. They're like, okay, you don't like the duopoly, then you're not doing anything to stop it if you block this deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I would love to see a Windows phone. I mean, because we're mostly Windows user.
Yeah.
And that was the thing about the Pocket PC and all that. It was a seamless transition. I mean, the best experience with the iPhone is on a Mac.
Yeah.
Or an iPad.
Bet.
Oh yeah, that's what you texted me earlier. So I was telling him. That's what you said. Bet. I'm like, yep, he's coming.
Bet.
Yeah, Chat GPT. Yeah.
Made Google look real bad, and then Google made themselves look worse because remember, I think Microsoft did their presentation on Monday, and then Google did theirs the next day. I guess that Tuesday, right? But they messed up. They even have a phone on stage to do a demo, and they were like, "Oh, oops! I guess we don't have a phone to show it." Oops, sorry. Let's move on now. Yo, they flopped so hard that everybody called them out on it too.
But I think Google's trying to do their own thing, whereas Microsoft has a Chat GPT base.
Right, they're behind where Microsoft is at.
Well, Microsoft is working with Chat GPT for theirs.
Yeah, because they help fund all of that anyway. So they're
some
companies do.
It's an open source project, so like nobody can buy it.
No, it's not open source anymore. But
exclusive.
Yeah,
it's not exclusive.
It's closed source. It's just not open source anymore. It's not exclusive. But Microsoft has the foot in the door, and they must have like rights to refusal or first right to refusal or whatever. So they'll always get the new stuff first before anybody else. They help pay for it.
Got the legs in, everything.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I don't see like how that's gonna change Google's marketing dominance. You know what I mean? And they still do have either the 1 or 2, depending on what month it is, a phone operating system.
What they need to do is integrate that into more of their
what they need to do. There you go, right there. We got it.
And then
they better
like they have. They already integrated into the dashboard of Windows 11. You know how they have the little search box, they got the Bing logo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Cortana, we still have that now, and I use that when I have my VR headset on to launch apps when I can't see what's going on.
Do you talk to her all sexy and stuff?
No, I just say, hey, Cortana launch launch
what's up,
Team
Cortana?
VR, and it comes on
tonight, baby.
To go in the menu.
He's blushing probably. He's like, man, for real. That's what I'm doing. That's what I do.
Power Cortana or whatever their voice assistant is, right at the time, but with the power of Chat GPT. That's big time.
So, hey, Cortana, what are you gonna do for me tonight, baby?
That's the next level of integration because Alexa And we were discussing this behind the scenes.
Alexa not doing it for me tonight.
Oh yeah. She's dumb as a brick, and Siri is even worse. Like truly,
Oh, Siri's psycho, but you Cortana, you got it going on.
I mean, whatever they call it, even if they move on from the Cortana name, which is what I believe they're gonna do. Like there's potential in that too. They just gotta play that game right.
What are they gonna call her the weapon now?
The weapon, nice.
It'd be a code name.
Didn't they call her that in the show or
yeah? No, in Halo.
No, in Halo Infinite. But
Cortana. Yeah.
All right.
But like all that is good. But go ahead.
I was gonna say let's wrap it up, man, because I gotta go poop. I gotta go poop.
Oh shucks.
It's like, so any last words, guys? We gotta shut it down.
Anxiety is not real.
There you
go.
Stop whining and play these games, man. I still gotta finish Atomic Heart.
All those bangers that people. Oh, I haven't even started that one yet.
I heard the ending wasn't all that great. No,
it's not the ending. Bangers. They already said they got DLC.
Oh,
they got bangers. So go play your bangers, Sony fans.
Bang, 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 bang.
Those bangers ain't banging no more.
Bang, 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 like John Witherspoon.
There you go.
R.I.P. Pops.
There you go. Let's see. All right. Well, I gotta go. You guys.
If your bangers ain't banging, come to Xbox. All right, y'all.
All right. Peace, chat room. We'll talk to you later. And we're signing off. Bye.